G'day General Maths students. In this video we're going to smooth some data using a moving average. In this case it's a 3-point moving average. So in order to do that, this 3-point moving average, what we do is we take 3 scores at a time. So we'll look at these scores I've highlighted first, and we're going to average those and put the result there in the table. So we're going to take those 3 scores, 162.5, actually I'll do it this way, 162.5 plus 161.7 plus 159.9, and I've added them up, and because there's 3 scores in this set, I'm going to average them by dividing them by 3. So I add those up and divide by 3, and the average of those 3 scores to one decimal place is 161.4. So I'll write that down in the table. Okay, so I'll let you pause the video now. The next step is to move on to these 3 scores here. So we step down to this one, average those to get that result for that cell in the table, and then continue to proceed downwards as we go. So go ahead and pause the video and find the next result and continue down the table until we've got each of the results for the moving average. Okay, so I'm going to show you the answers now so you can check your results against the table. So this is what you should have. So let's just check a couple of these just in case you missed the mechanics of how this is done. So this score here is the average of those, well, this result, 162.2, is the average of 161.7 plus 159.9 plus 165.0 divided by 3 gives us 162.2. And then we take the next 3 scores, we go down and we'll average these 3 to get 163.6. Let's just check it. So 159.9 plus 165.0 plus 165.9, divide that by 3, gives 163.6. So that's how we get each of the subsequent results. So if you've got any of those incorrect, maybe you want to go back and just check your calculations. Alright, so now we're going to plot this on the graph of the actual data. So these are the actual prices in this column. That's what's this graph here. Alright, so we're going to plot these points here. Now notice how day 2 lines up with the first score, so we're going to start here. That's where the first point on the moving average begins. So day 2 is at 161.4, so that's about there on the grid. And then the next score is 162.2, which lines up with day 3, so roughly there. We join them up and we keep going with the next one, 163.6, so about there, and join it up. Okay, so I'll let you pause the video and complete this graph, and then you can check your answer against mine. Righto, so you should have a graph that looks like this one here. So there's our moving average. So we can see that we've smoothed the data. There's not as many peaks and troughs. And you can see this, the trend of the price of petrol seems to be on the up, which has been a general theme. In fact, these prices are pretty good compared to what they are at the moment if you look at the date that this video was recorded. Anyway, in terms of the trend of the price of petrol, we've got an upwards trend, certainly here. Alright, so the next part of this is to use the calculator regression to find the equation of the trend line for the smooth data. So I've entered that into the calculator. Here it is here. So I'll put that smooth data into the calculator. Notice how I've started with day 2 in the first column, so the number of days in the first column and through to 11. We don't start at day 1 through to 12, we just put 2 through to 11, and then the smooth data in the next column. So you might want to pause the video, enter this data and see if you can get the regression, then I'll do it. Okay, so I'm going to have a go at it now. Right, so I'm going to put D for days and P for petrol. And we go menu, statistics, stat calculations, and number 3, linear regression, MX plus B. We've got D for days in the X list and P for petrol in the Y list. Say OK. And here is our linear regression. There's our gradient and our y-intercept. So we'll go to, let's go to 1 decimal. Oh no, we'll go to 2 decimal places. I'll do 2 decimal places. So 0.32 is our gradient and our y-intercept is 162.21. So gradient, y-intercept. Alright, so I'm going to go and write this equation down. So I'm going to use P for petrol equals 0.32 times D for days plus 162.21. So we're going to use the equation to find the petrol price on week 20. Oh, I was calling these days before, they're actually weeks, beg your pardon, sorry about that. So when I put D for days in here, in this list, probably would have been better to put W for weeks. So I'm glad I realised that before the end of the video. Right, so week 20, we're going to say, I might change this to a W now, and we've got W equals 20. So P equals 0.32 by 20 plus 162.21. So that gives us a price of 168.61. Not in dollars, but in cents. So 168.61 cents. So can you consider this forecast to be reliable? Well, it's a forecast. It's looking into the future. It's an extrapolation. So no, it is an extrapolation. So it assumes the relationship will hold true for untested values. And certainly predicting the price of petrol has been a tricky business, especially lately. All sorts of things can affect the price of petrol. This is despite there being quite, as well as the fact that the R-squared value is quite low. So despite, the fact that that's not a good thing either, our R-squared value is low, in addition to the fact that it's an extrapolation. So we certainly can't consider this to be a reliable forecast. Righto everyone, so that's how you smooth data and find the equation of the trend line from that smooth data. So thanks for watching. Try the questions in the description for the video.